guys, and welcome to another episode of Working Money, getting your money working for you. Now, I just wanted to take a quick sec to remind you guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that little bell for new video notifications, and like the videos if you guys like the content I'm providing. And always comment on the videos. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I know, I can hear the comments already, okay guys? You just made 2 videos back to back about diversifying your portfolio. Now you're making a video talking about putting everything into XRP. This guy's talking out of both sides of his mouth. Is this guy nuts? Well, you know what, guys? I've been getting a lot of comments, and I wanted to do a case study about this. There is a case for putting everything you have into XRP, but that is a very specific case, okay? So if you take a look at some of the comments in the comment section, some of the viewers were mentioning how, it's a lot easier to diversify your portfolio when you have, a large portfolio. So if your portfolio is in the 5-digit range, it's a lot easier to say, oh, well, I'll put 20% into this and 20% into that and 20% into the other thing. But when you only have maybe $1,000 or $2,000 to invest, diversifying really doesn't make sense for me. And I understand that. I mean, I started off with a small portfolio myself, and so I get this. I understand that, you want to grow your portfolio quick, and you're trying to find that gem that'll do it for you. And so here's a case study for putting everything into XRP. Again, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do something that you're going to regret. If you can't afford to lose the money, do not invest the money, okay? That's all I have to say about that. So I made a little chart here, okay? And in this scenario, we're going to say this is somebody who makes about $50,000 a year. By no means is it a paltry amount, but by no means is it, an amount where you can buy sports cars and live large. It's kind of an average amount of money, maybe a little over, but this amount doesn't really matter. I just chose this amount because it's easily divisible into the other numbers that I've chosen to create this case study. So, I mean, whether it's 25 or 30,000 or 40,000, 50,000, whatever that number is, basically what I'm trying to say here is that you're not living high on the hog. You're going about your life, paying your bills. You maybe go on one vacation a year or 2, or I don't really know how you spend your money. This video isn't about that. This video is about putting everything you have into XRP. And what I mean by everything is, the amount that you choose to invest, this is what you're going to do. So in this case study, I'm choosing a $2,000, and for somebody who makes $50,000 a year, I think this is a reasonable amount. By reading some of the comments I was reading in the comment section, I was understanding that some people may only have $1,000 or $2,000 to invest, and so I'm going to use this number to calculate some of these increases. So here we go. For a $2,000 investment, the week of December 12th, 2016 to December 11th, 2017. So the last bull run over a 52-week period. Okay, so this is an investment over a year. We saw Bitcoin, for example, going from $762.90 to $19,891, an increase of 2,507%. Okay, 2,507%. Ethereum went from $750 to $738.97, an increase of 9,753%. Litecoin went from $3.50 to $420, an increase of 11,900%. And XRP went from 0.007 cents to 90 cents, an increase of 12,757%. So guys, these aren't all-time high amounts or all-time low amounts. These are just an increase from this period to this period. I had another person ask me, well, why don't you use the all-time high numbers and all-time low numbers? Because realistically, guys, nobody can ever predict when the all-time low is going to be or when the all-time high is going to be. So you're never going to be able to, and I've had professional traders tell me this as well, you're never going to be able to predict all-time high. So don't ever assume that you'll ever be able to get out at all-time high. So when you're analyzing charts historically, don't ever assume that. Nobody can predict it, even the most experienced traders, okay? So let's get back to this. You have a $2,000 investment, and you've decided to put everything you have into Bitcoin, okay? It's still pretty, it's December 12th, 2016. You may not have heard a lot about Ethereum or Litecoin or XRP at this point in time. Don't forget this is a year and a half ago, so these coins weren't really in the news. All we know is Bitcoin. So what you decide is put all your money into something faithful like Bitcoin. And at this point, it's $762. And 52 weeks later, you've increased your investment by 2,507%, leaving you with $50,140. So that is basically what you make in a year. You may think to yourself, wow, I'm going to do this every year. Well, of course, wouldn't we all love to be able to do that every year and predict when bull runs are going to happen, but that's just not realistic, okay? So you put everything into Bitcoin, this is what you made. Okay, now let's do it for Ethereum. So we see the numbers here, and with your $2,000 investment, you've increased your investment by 9,753%, and now your Ethereum is worth $195,060. Wow, okay. So that's a pretty good return on investment too. That's almost 4 times what you make in a year, okay? Let's try it for Litecoin. So for Litecoin, plug in the numbers, and you've made now $238,000. Okay, you see where these trends are going, okay, guys? And XRP obviously did the best, and you've made a whopping 12,757%. You put everything into XRP when no one else was. December 12th, 2016, at a low of 0.007%. You're thinking to yourself, I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, not quite. You made $250,000, $255,140. Now, of course, these numbers are great for a $2,000 investment over a 52-week period, okay? And for somebody making $50,000 a year, this is roughly 2 weeks' salary. So take into consideration, you may get 2 weeks vacation in a year. Maybe if you're lucky, $50,000 divided by 50 weeks is $1,000 a week. So this is about 2 weeks of income for you, and you've put it all into. You decided to invest it, into cryptocurrencies because you're a little risky, and these are the kinds of numbers if you were to just put it into one cryptocurrency, okay? Now, I know what you're saying. Well, this is obvious. Why wouldn't I just do this all the time? Why wouldn't I just put it into one cryptocurrency? Now, going back to my points in the last couple of days, I really do strongly recommend to diversify, because if you start thinking this way, you know what? Like, it's good when it works out, but if it doesn't work out, it could be a little problematic. But nevertheless, we're going balls to the wall in this video. Okay, now you've seen your investment grow by a whopping 12,000+%. So now you think to yourself, well, why not take out a loan from the bank and take out 25,000? If I could make my 2,000 grow by this much, imagine what $25,000 could do for me. Okay, and now let's look at the numbers with $25,000. So same numbers up here, guys. Okay, Bitcoin. Now you've invested in 2016, taken it out a year later, and now your Bitcoin is worth $626 or $626,750. So over $500,000, guys, for Bitcoin. Plug in the numbers for Ethereum here. You've made $2,438,250 in Ethereum. You bought at a low of $7.50. You put in $25,000, and now you have over $2 million bucks. Okay, almost $2.5 million bucks. Litecoin, let's do the numbers there. Got $2,975,000. Okay, guys, almost $3 million from putting in a $25,000 investment. Okay, and that's only over a 52-week period, right? And now XRP, right? Everybody's saying, I'm all in XRP. And if you were all in XRP with a significant amount of money, you could have already been rolling in a lot of dough. $3 million bucks plus is a lot of money right now. So guys, obviously these numbers are going to go up if you put everything into one investment. And but the catch is, and I can't stress this enough, don't ever, ever, ever put in more than you can afford to lose. And I made this point because, if you make $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 a year, maybe a $2,000 investment is manageable. If you lost it, you wouldn't be out on the street. But if you took half of your income from a year, and put it all into one thing and it went bust, I mean, if it did well, that's great. But if it went bust, what would that mean for your livelihood? What would that mean for you as a person? Would you be out on the streets? Would you be living with mom and dad again? I don't know, maybe you're living with mom and dad now already. I don't know your situation, guys, but this is my point, okay? You know, it's all relative. For somebody who makes six figures, you know, in the high six figures, if you make $250,000, $300,000 a year, investing $25,000 isn't that big of a deal, right? And that's why they say, right, the rich get richer, the first million's always the hardest. So ultimately what it boils down to, guys, is, you know, just don't get greedy. I get that these numbers look appealing, right? And, you know, if you can afford $2,000 on your salary, great. Just don't ever invest more than you can afford, because yes, I mean, you know, it's easy to get into this trap. Oh, well, if I just put in this amount, I could make this much money. And so you've got to really understand, can you live without this amount? And this is what these guys on YouTube keep saying. If you can live without that amount, then go ahead, do it. But if you can't, definitely don't. Guys, one last thing I wanted to say before we go. If you do decide to put all your money into one investment, you got to take a look at what investments are the ones that are most likely to be moonshots, okay? As we know, guys, Ripple and XRP has real world utility. Ripple's the company that is really making changes in this world, and XRP is that backbone that's going to make these transactions possible. What other coin can you say that about, right? Anyways, guys, that's it for the video for today. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. I always love reading your comments. See you in the next one, guys.